True love is not emotions. True love is not emotions. It's not feelings. Now, don't get me wrong. There is an emotional component when you are talking about love. There has to be an emotional component, but love is not emotion. If the entire scope of your definition of love for a person or for a thing is just an attempt to express the emotional affinity towards that thing, then you are very limited. Please listen. There is a lot of trouble in marriages, in relationships, in carnality, attachment to things because of this one definition: feelings. The word feeling is a psychological word. It's a word that was invented to explain your psychological disposition at a given time. It's called feelings. An expression of your psychological disposition. So if I am not feeling all right because of for instance, a stomach upset, you ask me what's wrong, and I tell you I'm feeling sick. Is that true? If someone annoys me and I am not happy, you ask me what's wrong with you, I say I'm feeling bad. So the word feeling is a word that attempts to describe your psychological disposition at a given time. Is God helping us tonight? Please make sure you are listening everywhere, online, outside, because one of the biggest unbecomings of people is their vulnerability to feelings. For when you become a victim of feelings, both your relationship with God and your relationship with life will be shattered. Because you see, feelings, listen, love is not a feeling. Love is not emotion. Love can and should create feelings. True love should create feelings. Don't get me wrong. True love should create emotions. We'll discuss that later. Without emotions and without feelings, you cannot be committed towards a person or a project. I preach and we run this ministry and do what God is doing because much more than an instruction from God, I'm emotionally connected to what I'm doing, and therein lies my passion for the work I'm doing. Without feeling, without emotion, there is no basis for being passionate. But love is not feeling. Are we together? Love can create feelings, but it's not feelings. We know from life and biology that feelings can be products of chemical reactions, hormones. Feelings can be products of whatever it is, all kinds of physiological things that happen within a human being. That is the reason why love that is based on feelings should not be trusted. Is that true? When you build your love life based on emotions and feelings, you will never be able to sustain. That's why many people do not have the strength to push a business idea to the end. They say they love it because the idea reflected a positive emotion to them. Is that true? And so they believe that they love the idea. But then when another idea came to them higher and better than that one, all of a sudden their loyalty to that idea went. And it is easier for it to be a thing. It is terrible when it becomes a person. Is that true? We live in a world where our definitions of love are based on feelings. So when you feel good about a person, you say, I love that person. And for many of us, now I say this with honor, we have watched films, we have been exposed to books, and we have even been mentored by personalities who have been so inclined to emotions, and the entire scope of their definition of love is that it must always give you a feeling, a positive feeling. And if for any reason the feeling is not positive, then it is not love. That is not an accurate teaching. Is God helping us? So if I say, come, I love David Dam, what for many of us are saying, what we are trying to say is that my sight of David Dam, it doesn't matter what parameters I put together to arrive at my idea of love. What I'm attempting to say is that the presence of David Dam creates a positive emotional experience for me. Is that true? And then I can be fooled into thinking that just because at the moment I felt positive about him, I love him. Then tomorrow I now see another side of David Dam that communicates an experience that does not go well with my idea of happiness. Is that true? And all of a sudden I change my mind and say, David Dam, I no longer love you. Remember, that's what you did to the shirt you now throw in your house. See how much you loved it when you bought it. Beautiful shirt, my God. And you wore it and you were happy. Something about that shirt made you feel happy and excited, and you used the wrong word. You called it love. And now because the shirt began to fade or tear, it started falling your hand and you no longer were confident about it because it no longer created that disposition. Confess right now, what did you do to the shirt? Isn't it amazing how your attitude towards that shirt has changed? You look at it in your wardrobe and have no pity for that shirt. Think of how much you were bargaining just a few months ago. Please reduce 1,000, reduce 5,000, and this is the shirt now. But you said you loved the shirt. Remember when you dried it and for whatever reason you didn't find it, you searched, who took my shirt? But now the shirt is right there. Love. What exactly is love? Feelings are always based, I wrote something here, feelings are temporary dispositions based on something we consider pleasant. Feelings, write it down, feelings are temporary dispositions based on something we consider pleasant about someone or an object. So if David Dam sings, watch this, I give David Dam a mic and he has a beautiful voice. Now when he raises that voice, his flawlessness, his vocal discipline, his artistry, the ability to coordinate himself musically sounds pleasant to me. That gives me a basis for feeling right about David Dam. Is that correct? And now I may be tempted to call that feeling love. It remains love for as long as David Dam is singing. What if he's sleeping? What is the name of the experience? The difference between singing and snoring, they all make sounds. One is coordinated, one is not. So they are all coming out from the same person. That's the interesting thing. All coming out from the same personality. Now one is coordinated. Please understand what I'm teaching you. And then it is pleasant to you, and he becomes likable all of a sudden. You are drawn emotionally based on something. Now most of us may not admit that that's what is drawing us. Is that true? And then the person now snores, for instance, and then that experience does not go well with your disposition, and you begin to lose that fervor. Our world is in danger of losing it if we do not understand what love is. I foresee that if we do not know what love is, many marriages will break, many relationships will not even exist, many businesses will never grow to be big enough, many ministries, many leaders will not be able to rise because of this mistake of feelings. Building anything on just feelings and emotion is a guarantee for failure and frustration. Please hear what I'm saying. Building anything at all just based on feelings and emotion is a guarantee for failure and frustration.